All right, all right. How we doing this morning? We got some sound over here. Yeah, we got it. We got it. We got it. We're live. The little technical gremlins can only hold us down one time, man. Knock on wood. All right, let me mute this. Let's get started. Let's go. Let's go. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. Let's get it on here. All right. So, day 12. Day 12, man. Let's get this banner up here real quick. Get that rocking and rolling. Get this squared away there. Today's challenge. Intentionally send 3 to 5 videos every day. All right. Now, this, when you master it, this will be very, very powerful because you're gonna watch instead of just scrolling through your feeds, start to notice what your people are doing and saying, and instead of just liking and loving on it, direct message them and send them a video via direct message. Don't just like it. You can like it, but send them a direct message and start to watch the responses and how you start to stay top of mind with people, and how you just start to have more conversations, and then how your posts start to show up more with them because you're starting to create that dialogue. And that's what the algorithm wants to see, is that communication. And if you're communicating with different people, which is why I said there's power in numbers with this group, because we're going to get to a point here later. We'll probably start it next week. We'll start collaborating, doing some stuff together with each other. And I encourage you guys to, once you get comfortable with that, to start doing it more with other people. But you start to expand your sphere, and you're just doing, you're just that, you're expanding it. And when you start to show the algorithm, you're growing your reach, it starts to push your material out there more. So reach, just don't go through and go through and diligently and meaningfully respond to people with a video, a direct message video, and get the interaction going. And you'll be shocked on how things will take off and how things will start to develop, and it'll just start to blossom. It'll just start to blossom. And be aware of how you're doing your stuff, your camera angles and so forth. Don't be talking down at your camera. Talk up to it a little bit, because if you're talking down, it's just that you're talking down, and it's like an authoritative position. Keep your eyes right there with the camera. If you're, try to be, when you're on video, that's why I always try to talk and have my mannerisms. You need to be a little bit more, not dramatic, but you need to be more animated. And that way it comes across a little bit more pronounced, and it's more engaging. You just can't be sitting here, hey, yeah, what's going on? But it's boring. You can't be that way. You gotta have a little bit more umph to it. So just keep that in mind. That just keep a little bit more, have more energy to it. And if you need to have a cup of coffee or caffeine or whatever it is, do whatever you got to do. Get that extra oomph behind it. And then let's see. Oh, there's a few more things I want to cover on that, but I think I want to I want to shelf that a little bit and come back and do some more of that tomorrow because I don't want to take up too much time. But there's this is a topic that we can cover for a couple days because it's so important, because you take that and then you start wrapping the birthday videos with it, and then you just start doing your other stuff with it, and it's just all of a sudden you're like 5 videos, 10 videos, 12 videos every day, and you're like, holy cow, I can't do that, Mike. Are you crazy? It's not that hard. It's not that hard. When you get to the point where you can just go back and look at how many texts you send. How many texts, how many phone calls do you make? How many emails do you send? Go record yourself sending emails. How long does it take you to send an email? Guarantee it won't take you that long to send a video. So if you're coming up with an excuse on why you can't do it, chances are it'll save you a lot of time. So you can do it. I promise you can do it. You just need to accept the fact, and you need to treat it like your paycheck depends on it. And if your paycheck depends on it, then you'll do it and you'll make it a priority. So enough of that until tomorrow. I'll get back on that soapbox because I'm telling you, this is an important topic. Let's go. All right, so we posted, I forgot to move that over there, so it's there now. We posted some stuff yesterday along with the video from yesterday, and we did a lot of recapping. Went in and covered the framing a video, the framing of the videos, and using the grids. That's what I'm looking for, the grids, and how to use those grids to line things up. So go back and watch that. And I covered a few other, what was it? Gosh, I can't remember what all we covered. It was just a few little odds and ends and stuff, but I've spent a lot of time on the grids, and I hope you guys get a lot out of that because it helps me a lot. And it really takes a lot of the guessing work out of what are you going to do? How are you going to, how's your video going to show up in your post editing? And are you going to capture what you need to capture the proper way? Or are you going to have to go back and reshoot again? And going back and reshooting again is just a waste of time, and it becomes frustrating. And then you get dejected, and then you just don't do it anymore, and you throw in the towel. And you don't want to do that. If you just take a little time to plan it out and use the right tools, it makes it all easier. So let's jump into this stuff today. Where's the Facebook page? Where's the Facebook page? Here we go. So the rest of the stuff we posted shows some more tech stuff. And here, where is it? Where'd it go? Where did it go? Seriously, where did it go? There was 2 links that were put out here, and it was a link to a Yahoo article that was showing the size and the scope of the market, and then another one was also kind of supporting it, but it was just helping you guys understand and see the importance of it, and understand how big this social media game is, and why you need to be so focused on this, because it's like the equivalence of the cell phone being introduced to communications, and then the Uber and Lyft coming to the taxi cab service. it is a complete game changer, and it's going to continue to revolutionize the way we market, the way we communicate to clients. And if you don't embrace it, it's just going to continue to pass you by. So I want you guys to see these numbers and understand these numbers and understand the importance of this and why it's such a critical piece, and you need to incorporate this into your business and make sure you're doing all the things that you can with social media. And I really don't know why it's not showing up out here. That is really, really weird, and that's really bothering me, because up on this screen it's showing, but on this screen it's not showing. That is really, really weird. All right, so screw this. We're gonna down here. We're gonna change this. That's really weird. Maybe I jinxed myself when I said we're not gonna have any more gremlins. Let's go to this screen, and we're gonna just share this entire window. There it is. I don't know why it wasn't showing in the other window. That's just bizarre. But here's those posts. Here's the 2 posts that I was talking about. So go check them out, and it'll be eye-opening for you. And then, Fran, I'm going to call you about this and using Snagit here. The other thing I wanted to give you guys, I'm going to post it down here, but there is, I'm also going to show you guys. I was going to put this out there, but I just don't have all my notes ready to go yet. And I did not have time to put everything in here. But this is all of the apps I've played with and toyed around with. I mean, there's tons of them. I've got tons of notes. And I have all sorts of stuff broken down from an AI standpoint. I mean, if you guys want to know something about something, chances are I probably have it. So I will eventually get this piece cleaned up for you guys, but it's just not ready to go yet. But I will get it posted out there. And then here is what I wanted to get out there. This piece is a good tool where you guys can use it to remove the background of something, and it's free of charge. There it is. And it's free of charge. So you can use that to remove the background of an image, and you don't have to pay for Canva to do it or anything like that. So it's really cool. She mentions it in her video, but just in case you guys haven't watched this yet, that's one of the tools that you can use. And then on the Canva side, I want to go back to that real quick. I'm just going to stay in this area. Let me go back, make sure there's nothing going on over here in the chat box. All right, good. We're good there. What I did is I went and created a separate folder here, and I went and created these squares. And I talked about this I think I talked about this yesterday, where I think I'm going to start to go. I think I'm going to change my strategy, because when you start looking at it was because it's in the it's in one of the articles I posted. It's this one. You need to go read this one, and you're going to understand the logic and the philosophy here. This is the one that's not showing. So let me just close and get rid of that one. Definitely go read this. This one right here, if I'm not mistaken, because when you start to understand that all of the other social media platforms, the universal image size is the 1080 by 1080 square. And that's basically what this is right here, the square. And from a formatting point of view, if everything's in this square format, you know it's going to work across all channels. But if you have something formatted differently for wherever you're posting it, and then it gets pushed somewhere else, it may not show up right. So you always run that risk that it's not going to be presented properly. Whereas if you have something constantly the same way, uniform each and every time, and you know it's going to work for each and every channel, you know it's going to be presented properly each and every time. And that's why I think I personally am just going to start to go to nothing but these types of presentations and just start to use this, because that's what I actually did with a post we did last that released last night, I think it was. And let me show you that real quick. Actually, right here, we did this one and did it on a 4:5 ratio, so it's just a little bit bigger than a square, but at the same time, it's still the square format. But the actual words, the verbiage on the cover is in the square, so it will fit on every single platform there is. And we could stretch this out a little bit further if we wanted. I'm not really too concerned about that. And at the same time, my slides, I didn't want to stretch them out, so I'm good with it. And this, I think, is what I'm going to start using going forward. Some of them I will stretch out, or maybe I'll extend just from I'll put like a white background back here just so it looks like it's extended, but yet it really isn't. You can play with that, and I can show you how to do that later. But this is what I'm talking about from a square point of view. So think about that in your approach as well. But read this article and you'll understand exactly why I'm talking about this and why it makes sense and why it's important and how it will save you time and frustration. So that's why I went out and created all of these. And at the same time, I have the single ones that are set up like this. And then we can go back into Canva, which is what I really want to do. But 7:47. We don't really have that much time to really jump into it. We will pick that back up tomorrow. But I went ahead and just created several of these just so I have them, and things that I liked and I thought would flow good with stuff, and I pop. But then you can turn around and take these and have stuff that's ready to go. And then if you wanted to go in and take the time to go into Canva and create something, you could. But if not, you've got something stocked ready to go that you can just jump right into. Boom, 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 and boom, you're ready to go. Post it, take your image, paste it on top of it, upload it into Instagram, boom, or TikTok, whatever it is. You're done. You're done. And if you've got stuff preset or almost templated out, or think of it like an assembly line. I mean, if you've got things ready to go and lined up, things go fast. It goes much quicker. If you've got to do every step of the way each and every time, it takes longer. But if you set it up in a systematic way, have a process in place, it will go extremely fast and extremely efficient each and every time. It's all about having the processes in place. So that's something I highly recommend for you guys. And then the other thing I want to talk to you guys about as well is some of the apps. I know I talked about this some yesterday as well, and I've talked about it a couple times, but I don't want you guys to lose sight of the message or misunderstand the message here. The apps I use are not apps that you have to use or need to use. They're pure preference that I use. And I have some links I'm going to post out here. Where did I put them? Where did I save them? I saved them somewhere. I'll post them after the show, but that goes through and shows you guys the top top apps based on video editing, photo editing, even some sound clips in several different little categories. And the reason I have so many apps in each area is because when you go through and read some of these reviews, it will tell you this app sucks at this. This app's great at this, but then this app wants to charge you for this. And you got all these if this, then that, but this, but that, pros and I mean, it's just every little app has a good piece and a bad thing. And you've got to find what works best for you. And the reason I use something is because I like whatever I like about it. But you choose what you want to use and take advantage of the trial memberships. Don't be afraid to go sign up for a trial. Most of them will give you a 7 to 10 day, sometimes even a 2-week trial. Go try it out. Go figure out if you like it. And if you like it, then determine if it's worth paying for. And if you don't like it, then cancel the membership before they charge you and go try something else. But try it out and see if it works for you. And I have a couple different apps for each category because certain things will do certain things differently. And I'm gonna post several things out there after we get done today for different examples of this. There's going to be a couple about making panoramic post where you can post a picture and you can have it panoramically slide. You have the panoramic what's it called? Panoramic view, panoramic view, Insta view. I can't remember the name of the one, but it's basically an Instagram app. But you can sit there and you can pan it back and forth, but it's one image. But you upload the image into the system, you split it, and then you line it up. But then when you post it back into Instagram, it knows what you're trying to do. So when it posts, it looks like one solid image that you can just slide back and forth. And there's a couple different ways to do it. And then there's some apps that are free. There's some apps that they charge you for. So it just all depends on what you want. And you got to dig in to understand what these apps that you're paying for, all the additional features that they give you, or that they're not giving you, you're paying for. And that's what you need to understand, what you're paying for. So when you see these lists I'm going to post, take the time and read through them and look at the differences. And when you look at these differences, you'll start to understand what I'm talking about. And like you'll notice on my like on the video editors, CapCut that I use, I think on this one review, it's I think there's like 30 of them or something like that, or 25 of them. And it's like 23. It's not the top. It's not number one. But number one is ranked because it's free. And then it gives you the pros and cons on why you might not want to use it. And then it goes to number two and it does the same thing. But as you get to the bottom of the list, it says, okay, these are top-notch apps. But at the same time, if you're not used to using an app like this, it's going to drive you nuts. On top of that, you got to pay for it. So if you're not used to using not a professional grade editor, but if you're not used to doing video editing, you don't need to start off with a CapCut. You're just gonna, excuse the French, piss yourself off. You're just gonna get frustrated because you're not used to using that kind of stuff. And that's why I've always said, start off with the small stuff, work your way up. Same thing with Instagram. Instagram, use it for learning, but then get off of Instagram. And the reason I say that is it crashes. It crashes. If you haven't experienced it yet, you soon will. And it'll do it in a time that you don't have anything saved, and it will absolutely infuriate you. It gives you no warning. It just crashes. So best word of advice is every time you do something, if you put your slides in there, save it to a draft and then re-upload it. And then you get your music in there, save it to a draft and then re-upload it. And just constantly save it, constantly save it, constantly save it. Otherwise, you're going to get the unpleasant surprise of Instagram crashing and you having to start all over from scratch. And then as you get going and further down the line, you'll start to understand why people pay to use stuff outside of the Instagram app, because it just gives you so many more options. But again, getting started, it's perfect. 7:56. All right, that's it. So you're going to see here in a few minutes, I'm going to start posting these links to all of these reviews. So check that stuff out when you have the time. I'm going to post some of those apps for the panoramic stuff. And I'm going to start posting more and more and more of this stuff and explaining why I use what I use, how I use what I use and why. And if you've got any questions, let me know. And then like Fran, I'll call you here in a little bit to explain Snagit. So if you guys are using something I use and you can't make it work, let's talk about it. I'll walk you through it. We'll do a screen share and I'll help you figure out what you're doing and get you on the right track so you know what you're doing with it. So other than that, I don't see anything there. I think everything's there. Good. Cool. So get your intentional videos done. We'll talk some more about that tomorrow at 7:30. And I promise you, once you start doing those intentional videos, you get that algorithm going, it'll start to surprise you. It's insane how it starts to work. So you guys have a wonderful Friday the 13th, that is. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. You guys have a good one. See ya.